So let's get started. And what did we talk about yesterday?
We are talking about exam with the part of grammar.
Yeah. And we read the text. What was that about?
Okay, so the first one was about oh боже мой.
I know, I mean the text from the book.
From the book? I don't really remember.
By Jules Verne.
Точно.
Okay, let's start with vocabulary then. So I'm giving you a definition of a new word from the text, and your task is to guess the word, okay?
Okay.
So, answer.
Answer. Give me a second.
The first letter is R.
R. Can you please tell me the page?
It's page 155.
55. It was. Не помню.
Reply.
Reply.
Reply, yeah. Okay, a feeling that something will happen.
Так. Presentiment.
Yeah, presentiment. Okay, that's it. A person who tells you that you are guilty.
A person who tells me
that you are guilty, that you did something bad.
I guess it was what's the first letter?
A.
A? I guess it didn't really.
And then you have C. Ac. You.
Вообще без попаданий.
Accuser.
Accuser? Where is it? I can't really see it.
It's not highlighted. Demand.
Demand.
It's also a type of letter which you have in a CAE exam when you demand or suggest something. The first letter is P.
To propose?
Yes, and the noun is proposal.
Proposal.
Yeah. And finally, what's this?
It's an elbow.
Yes, elbow. Very good. Okay, Alice, hello. And
hello.
now
1 second, I'll send a message to Elena Konstantinovna and join you.
I see. Okay, so now read through the text and complete exercise 5. What are the places, where certain things happen? So I can give you half a minute. Sorry. So, anyone ready? Where did the diamond robbery take place? No, no ideas?
Mm,
The place names are underlined. You just have to choose.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
At in the no,
No?
it's his support.
Place. In? Or we'd better say at Tijuco. Yeah?
At Tijuco.
Yeah. Where will the family leave Torres tomorrow? Mm-hmm.
Manaus. At Manaus.
Stas, do you agree?
I guess yes.
And it is right, yes. Where was the prison Herm de Costa escaped from?
At Villa Rica.
Do you agree? Yes, that's right. Where did Herm de Costa work as a clerk?
In the government. In the Governor General's office.
At what place? Yes, in the office,
Tijuco.
but where? Tijuco, yes. And finally, where's the chief of the police that Torres threatened to inform about Hamgarao?
At Manaus.
Exactly. Great job, girls. And now, answer these questions. So I can give you some time to look through the book. Yeah. So, how many people were there on a raft?
6.
Can you name them?
Manuel, Benito, Yakita, her daughter, Taurus, and Drum Girl.
And Hamgarao. Stace, do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, that's it. What does Manuel feel about Torres?
He doesn't like him. Like,
Stace, do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, why? How do you know that?
because he thinks that Taurus must leave them tomorrow.
Exactly. Why did Torres make a pause before he started speaking?
Mm,
He was trying to think. Okay, so he said that. Yes, Taurus.
stars make effect.
Why didn't Taurus like start speaking immediately?
Because he hesitated to speak.
But why did he hesitate?
Because he thought that Juan Guerral would only reply to his demands with silence.
Stas, do you agree? Right. What crime does he convict Guerral of?
The diamond robbery.
A diamond robbery.
And what surprised Taurus?
That he, Juan Guerral, he didn't answer. He just didn't react somehow.
Okay. Stas, do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, that he was just like too calm, yeah? Okay. And now let's work on vocabulary a little, yeah? So the first thing I ask you to do is replace these words, yeah, with their synonyms.
Okay, can I answer?
Yes, sure.
The first one is trolling.
Does everybody agree?
I guess so.
Yes, that's it. Okay, next, another blamed.
Accused, I think.
Okay. Exactly, His reply surprised me.
Surprised.
No? Any ideas?
I don't know.
Look.
Не, я не знаю.
Look at the screen.
Astonished.
Yes, exactly. Astonished. Ian looked for that book for a long time. Looked for?
Thought.
Yes, can you spell that?
S-O-U-G-H-T.
B?
S-O-U-G-H-T.
Exactly, great job. And finally,
grabbed.
Grabbed. Do you agree? Yes, that's it. Wonderful. Okay, and now have a look at exercise 4. So what you have to do there is choose any of the highlighted words, yeah, and give a definition. And the other person will try to guess that word.
Алис,
So,
ну ты давай с definition'ами.
we will just do it in turn.
Боже.
In turns, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. At the beginning of something.
Uh-huh.
Вот как вы мне сказали, читается? Presentiment?
Presentiment?
No,
Presentiment.
No, it's-
No.
If they had...
not it.
Ну, тогда at the outset.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good job. You get a point, and Alice gets 2 points for the definition. Stasia, your definition now?
Like trembling,
Mm-hmm.
like shaking.
Uh-huh.
Like shivering.
Yes. You
Uh-huh.
both. Uh-huh. Okay, you both have 3 points for now. Alice next.
Okay. When you predict something, when you
Predict.
Mm-hmm.
feel.
Mm-hmm.
Вот
Like-
это, да, я поняла. Presentiment.
Mhm.
Presentiment, right. Uh-huh. And Stasia?
Okay, so it's like a suggestion, like when you suggest
Proposal.
something.
Yes, exactly. 6 points both. Okay, Alice, next definition.
Looking for something.
Mhm.
Looking for something.
Mhm.
Thought.
Mhm.
Ну,
Mhm.
как stick.
Yeah. And Stasia, your definition?
Сейчас. Like being horrified by something.
Mhm.
The menace. Menace.
Murnus, we
Murnus,
say.
yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Always.
9 points for you both. Great job, girls.
Ну,
Okay.
вообще.
Mm-hmm. What do you think was the most useful word you learned from this text, by the way?
I don't know. I like this strolling.
Mm-hmm.
Presentiment. The outset of something.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Okay,
I
Stasia.
guess for me it was accuser. It
Oh,
sounds really good.
Yeah, nice word. Okay, and now have a look here. So you have to fill in the gaps, yeah?
No, the first one is
Presentiment.
presentiment.
Mhm.
Exactly, that's it.
After the fifth.
Proposal.
No.
If there were 5 proposals to publish his article,
Fifth reply. Нет. Ну, предложение, наверное. Нет?
so
Как try.
предложение would be proposal, but why did he got desperate then? If people proposed to publish his article.
Что-то я не знаю.
It starts with R.
Reply.
Reply.
But if you say reply, again, why did he got desperate? He got 5 answers.
Okay.
Isn't that great? It's not good that he got 5 answers only in one case. Only
if they are bad.
Yes, if they are like, no, we won't publish. And how do we call these answers with no? It starts with R. Girls, that's refusal.
Yep.
The negative answer. Okay, the convict finally accepted that he was
guilty.
Stas, do you agree?
Yes.
And that is right, yeah. She, for a few days, but eventually made up her mind.
It's hesitate.
Do you agree, Stas? Yes, but in what form should it be?
In what form? I'm thinking. I would say had been hesitated.
Had been hesitating then, yeah? Like past
hesitating.
perfect continuous. Yeah, or you may just say hesitated. Yeah, like one thing after the other. If you want to highlight that it's like for a few days, then of course you should say had been hesitating. Okay, you mustn't talk to him, son. He's a...
Я не знаю, robber.
Maybe a robber, maybe an assassin, maybe a murder, but can you think of a general word? It starts with M.
M?
Yeah.
Я думала, with C. Ну ладно.
No. You meant convict, yeah?
I meant like crimer, if there is such a word.
Criminal.
Criminal, right?
Yes, it would be okay, but we don't have this word in the text. But in the text, we have a word. Murnus.
Как?
Murnus. He's a Murnus. Okay. And now, as far as you remember, what did this written text like finish with? When Torres demands something, yeah? So what do you think he will demand?
I guess that Garrow had an escape, but still like police or that Torres managed to get him, and he went to prison.
But in the end of the written text, Torres says that Garal needs to do something, and if Garal does that, Torres will not go to the police and will not tell about Garal, yeah?
I
So-
don't think he will go to the police.
Anyway, even if Garal refuses, yeah?
Because
Why?
you know, like these people who do this like chantage. I don't know how to say it in English.
You know that word chantage? Who can help?
Um, blaming.
Blackmail.
Blackmail. Blackmail.
We had this in module 4, yeah?
Yep. Okay. The people who do this
Blackmailing,
blackmailing, yeah, they don't like they don't do the thing that they
threaten to do.
threaten to. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yes, probably you're right. But anyway, what will Torres try to get? What will he demand? Any ideas?
I think another robbery.
Aha, another robbery. Alyssa, what do you suppose?
I don't know. Maybe Stasi is right.
Okay, now let's listen and check what Torres demands.
Exercise 6B, page 155.
After a while, Torres said,
You have a daughter. I like her, and I want to marry her.
apparently Juan Garal expected anything from a man like Torres and was as quiet as before.
And so?
Garal said,
The worthy Torres is eager to marry into the family of a murderer and a thief.
I am the one to decide what is best for me to do.
Said Torres.
I wish to be the son-in-law of Juan Garal, and I will.
You ignore then that my daughter is going to marry Manuel Valdez.
Garal said,
You will break it off with Manuel Valdez.
And if my daughter declines?
If you tell her everything, I have no doubt she would agree to marry me.
Was Torres' answer.
Everything?
Everything, if necessary. She would ignore her own feelings for the honor of her family and the life of her father.
You are a scoundrel, Torres,
said Juan quietly, his coolness never leaving him.
A scoundrel and a murderer were made to understand each other.
Torres said. At these words, Juan Garal rose, advanced to the adventurer, and looking him straight in the face, said,
Torres, if you wish to become one of my family, you ought to know that I, Juan da Costa, was innocent.
Really?
And I add,
replied Juan,
that you hold the proof of my innocence, and are keeping it back until you marry my daughter.
Correct, Juan Garal,
answered Torres, lowering his voice.
And when you have heard me out, you will see if you dare refuse me your daughter.
I am listening, Torres.
Well,
said the adventurer, half keeping back his words, as if he was sorry to let them escape from his lips.
I know you are innocent. I know it, for I know the true culprit. And I am in a position to prove your innocence.
And the unhappy man who committed the crime?
He is dead,
Torres replied.
So, were you right, Alice?
No.
No. So what was his proposal?
He will find the proof that Juan da Costa is innocent, and then Torres can marry his daughter.
Yes, it was about marriage, yes. So Torres wants to marry Garal's daughter.
Yes.
Okay, now listen again and be ready to answer some of my questions.
Exercise 6B, page 155.
After a while, Torres said,
You have a daughter. I like her, and I want to marry her.
Apparently, Juan Garral expected anything from a man like Torres and was as quiet as before.
And so,
Garral said,
the worthy Torres is eager to marry into the family of a murderer and a thief?
I am the one to decide what is best for me to do.
said Torres.
I wish to be the son-in-law of Juan Garral, and I will.
You ignore then that my daughter is going to marry Manuel Valdez.
Garral said,
You will break it off with Manuel Valdez.
And if my daughter declines?
If you tell her everything, I have no doubt she would agree to marry me.
was Torres' answer.
Everything?
Everything, if necessary. She would ignore her own feelings for the honor of her family and the life of her father.
You are a scoundrel, Torres.
said Juan quietly, his coolness never leaving him.
A scoundrel and a murderer were made to understand each other.
Torres said. At these words, Juan Garral rose, advanced to the adventurer, and looking him straight in the face, said,
Torres, if you wish to become one of my family, you ought to know that I, Joam da Costa, was innocent.
Really?
And I add,
replied Juan,
that you hold the proof of my innocence, and are keeping it back until you marry my daughter.
Correct, Joam Garral.
answered Torres, lowering his voice.
And when you have heard me out, you will see if you dare refuse me your daughter.
I am listening, Torres.
Well,
said the adventurer, half keeping back his words, as if he was sorry to let them escape from his lips.
I know you are innocent. I know it, for I know the true culprit. And I am in a position to prove your innocence.
And the unhappy man who committed the crime?
He is dead.
Torres replied.
Okay, so we already found out that Torres demands to marry Garral's daughter, yeah? But what is the problem about that?
That his daughter is going to marry with Manuel. This one.
She's going to marry Manuel Valdez.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Stas?
Yes.
Yes. And so, what suggestion does Torres propose? What solution?
Hmm.
He said that he'll propose to his daughter, and if she refuses, he will tell her everything as needed. So she will say yes.
So he proposes that Garral tells his daughter that if she doesn't marry Torres, her father would be imprisoned. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And do you think he really loves Garral's daughter?
No,
No, why not?
because if he loved her, he wouldn't say these words. Like, he wouldn't make her marry him.
He said that he wants to be like his son-in-law, and nothing will disturb him.
Okay, and what was Garral's reaction?
He was really amazed. Oh, not amazed, surprised. Like that he have chosen this instead of anything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, and now, do you think Geral will refuse this proposal?
Mm, I don't know. I would refuse if I was a girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what about if Taurus really lets the police know about you and you are in danger of being imprisoned?
But for parents, there is nothing more important than their um, children's happiness. And I don't know if he loves his daughter, he will refuse because
Mm-hmm.
it's awful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Stasia, what do you think?
I think the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I agree. If I were a girl, I wouldn't say anything to my daughter, and I would just make sure she marries Manuel Valdez as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but what do you think really happens in the story? Provided Geral really does refuse the proposal, and what happens next?
And he will be in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe his friends or his family will find the proof of his innocence.
Uh-huh.
And they will try um, to to make the police like типа помиловать, выпустить.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
How to say it in English?
Oh, it's like release. Yeah, to make
Yeah,
the
like
police release him.
release him. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Stasia, what do you think?
Same.
Uh, okay, and Staj, do you think they would be successful?
Sequestral?
Successful.
Would they be
successful.
successful? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess yes, because at the beginning it won't be that good. Like we need something to make readers not that stable and not that like I don't know, just for the sujet.
Plot.
Plot.
For the plot, yeah,
Mhm.
we'll need something like a twisted plot,
Mhm.
but at the end, everyone will get their punishment
Mhm.
as they need.
Mhm. So what do you think would happen to Taurus?
I think Forrest. Боже, я постоянно путаюсь в их именах. Taurus is the one who is blackmailing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I guess he will be punished.
In what way?
I don't know. Like he will do something bad and then go to prison or any other way of punishment. I don't know.
And do you think the real culprit will be found?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
It will
Why?
be a forever secret.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Alice, do you agree?
To be honest, I missed the part of her speech.
Mhm.
I think that the end will be good, and
Mhm.
Taurus will be in prison,
Mhm.
and Huam Garal
Mhm.
will be released, because in Jules Verne stories, the end is like
Like you believe in happy end, yeah?
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. His stories, they end with these happy ends often.
Mhm. Mhm.
They're not like sad.
Mhm. 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 Okay. Well, I agree with you, and that is really what happens in the story. So, after,
Woo!
yes, so after our today's lesson, do you think like reading the whole story?
Yeah.
I love detectives, but
Mhm.
I don't really like Jules Verne. I don't
Mhm.
know, just didn't really understand what
Mhm.
everyone
Mhm. Mhm.
is so amazed about. Maybe
Mhm.
sometime in the future, but not now.
Uh-huh, I see.
100%.
See. And what is the most useful thing you learned today?
Mm,
If
I
you
think
want to marry, давай, Alisa.
is it about a plot or about like a lesson?
It may be just about anything.
I like the vocabulary that was in the text.
Mm-hmm.
It was really useful, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And about the plot, I like it too. So Stasia, speak, or you won't have a time.
Сейчас, я быстро. I guess the thing is, if you want to marry someone's daughter, you need to know like a big secret. Yeah, it's a great life hack, I think. Utilize.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, great ideas. So thank you, girls. Thanks a lot. And see you tomorrow at our last lesson this year. Yeah.
окей, до
I'm
свидания.
crying.
Yeah. See you tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
До
Bye.
свидания.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.